Getting back up again when you get knocked down. I think this is one of the biggest habits that you can develop as a business owner. When you launch something and it doesn't work, when you have an idea or a plan, or you thought something was going to come together and it didn't work out how you wanted, or maybe you reached a certain level of success and then things stopped for you, or maybe you were counting on somebody else to do something, they didn't follow through, and now you're back where you started. These are all scenarios that, as humans, we experience. One of the biggest things that you can develop inside of you, and it's a skill set that you can develop, is that when you get knocked down, when things don't go your way, when things don't go how you hoped they would, to get back up again and to not let that thing defeat you, to not let that thing decide that that's where you're going to stay, to not let that thing be the cause and creator of your life. I see so often that people are trying to avoid getting knocked down so they never do anything because they're avoiding it, okay? And then B, when they do, they take months and months and months. By the way, I myself am included in this. I've done this before where I've spent months, 6 months, a year, when I got knocked down from something that I thought I was going after, I thought was a sure thing. It didn't work out. And then I stayed in my trying to figure out why it was. And so the skill set that we have to develop is quickly getting back up again, not sitting in the muck, not sitting in the it didn't work out, not sitting in the man, this sucks, not sitting in the it should have gone this way or it should have gone that way. How many of y'all have had situations in your life, if you lived on planet Earth, where things didn't go your way? All of us can raise our hands, right? If you are not raising your hand, then you probably haven't lived much of a life. And if you are raising your hand, it was disappointing. It was hard. It was scary. It didn't feel good. It made you feel sick inside. It made you feel confused. But what did you do after that? And that's what determines what happens next. Many of us then take months or years after that moment to get back on the horse. Train yourself to be able to get back up again as quickly as possible. Being tenacious, being somebody that rises strong, that when you get knocked down, that you won't get knocked off the horse, that you will get right back on it and back into battle. Far too many people are trying to avoid getting knocked off their horse. So I mentioned at the beginning, they're trying to avoid things not going their way. So they're working so hard to avoid it. They never take a risk, they never step out, they never do anything of importance in their life because they're so afraid of this feeling. It's a hard feeling. And then when it does happen, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Embrace it. Give it a big old warm hug. That's what I'm saying. Embrace the fact that it's going to happen, that you're going to get knocked off the horse, that it's not all going to work out. And hold on to that as a good thing. Is that a shift in perspective? Is that a change in perspective, that maybe the thing that you thought didn't go your way was actually setting you up for the biggest blessing in your life? Have you thought about that? Have you looked at it from that perspective? I can look to every single time when things didn't go how I wanted them to. And every single time was setting me up for something that was at least twice as good. And as, and the longer that I waited and complained and sat around and was upset about how things didn't go my way, the longer it took for me to realize that. The faster I get back on the horse, the faster we keep going, the more that we can sustain ourselves. And so, my friends, I just want to encourage you, when things don't go your way, to be tenacious, to get back up again as quickly as possible, to not sit in the feelings, to not sit in the, oh, it didn't work out. It's never going to work out for me. No, don't let that get in your head. Don't let that get in your thought life. You got to put a stop sign up when those thoughts come up and say, you know what? That's not the truth. I'm going to step into the future. Don't let your failure define your identity. Don't let your performance be the deciding factor of your value. Don't let how good you do be the determiner of your worth and your humanity. Far too many of us are relying on how good we do and how things turn out as a litmus test for our self-worth. And that will lead us to destruction, that will lead us to failure, that will lead us to addictions, that will lead us to depression. Or we can choose as a choice to get back up again and be tenacious when things don't go our way. What are you going to choose today, my friends? You're going to choose to stay in the same old cycle that I see people sometimes stay in for 5 to 10 years? I got people that came to me 7 years ago that are still dealing with the same problems because they're not willing to grow and learn and try something new. And then there's people that in 30 days go from a failure to making $200,000 a month in their business because they got back up again, because they didn't let that thing get lodged in their head like a thorn and convince them that they were the problem, that their worth was less. What voices are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to the thoughts in your head that try to beat you up? Or are you going to believe for better in the future and realize that what happened was setting you up for success? All right, my friends, I hope this encourages you. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you're going through. I know we're all dealing with stuff. I know we're all going through stuff. If you're somebody that's ever wanted to build a business online and create your own income, I have a course on my website that's all about creating online courses and selling them and making 7 figures doing that. It's called Create and Launch Your Own Digital Product Business. Check that out. Schedule a free 15-minute call with me if you haven't yet. I'd love to talk with you about your business and what's keeping you stuck so that you can go to that next level of 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures as a business owner and don't have to stay stuck where you're at just because some things didn't go how you wanted. Get back on the horse and keep moving forward. My friends, we'll talk soon. Have a good one.